Christopher Russo. Nice to have you with us here today. And listen, you look good in the uniform. We got to make sure now we get some games out of you. You know how important you are, but I like the uniforms. How about that first? Let's have some fun. Go ahead.
They're good. These uniforms for me, Twin Cities, they just represent St. Paul and Minnesota come together to one. So, you know, for me, it's all about playing together, being that team and bonding together. And these uniforms kind of dictate the bond and chemistry that we have together as a team.
100%. It had to drive you crazy last year, Byron. Late in the year, you were not getting a chance to play with the injuries when the Twins and the Guardians went head-to-head, and the Twins obviously had a lot of trouble. You're a big competitor. That had to drive you nuts. Talk about that for a sec. Go ahead.
It was. It definitely wasn't fun to be not playing in that series. That was such a big series for us. But at the end of the day, I can't control what happens. I battled throughout the season. We knew what the issue was early in the season when I slid in Boston. So for me, it was all about battling, trying to make it as far as I can throughout the season. And when it gave out. And you know, I can't control that. So for me, it's all about taking it positive. Positives was played the most games I played out since 2017. Hit the most home runs I've hit throughout my career. So it's just something for me to build off of. Those little positive games like that sets you up for, you know, more success following a year like I had. So for me, it's all about staying positive and going out there and not changing my game.
28 home runs for Byron in the 92 games, and I remember that game. That was opening day in Fenway. You going into second base, and they took you out. I remember that. May have been that first series in Boston. I remember that very, very well. All right, how do you? What is the goal? How do you get yourself ready where you can play 120, 125, 130 games, Byron? How do you do that in the off season? You push yourself, you give yourself a little break with your body. What's the game plan here to get ready to play as many games as possible next year? Let me hear.
For me, just going out playing the game. Last 2 years, I can't control the injury, so got hit in the hand, running through the bag, blew out an injury, blew out my hamstring. It's just one of those things, fluke injuries I can't control. So for me, I'm going out there, I'm playing my game, not changing the way I play. At the end of the day, can't make everybody happy. You play hard, play your game. As long as you're happy, your teammates happy, your family happy, that's all that matters to me, you know. So that clubhouse, what's inside that clubhouse is what's important to me, and that's the only way that we can bring a championship to Minnesota is worrying about what we got in front of us and knowing what we can do and what we go through.
You play the game so hard, especially defensively, Byron. Have you thought about maybe, you know, not diving off that ball in left center field and maybe just give up the double to make sure we prolong the amount of games you can play? I know you don't want to do it that way. Great athlete wants to go after everything and play every game like it's your last. But, I mean, could you do things in the course of the year to prolong the season? Have you thought about that for a sec? Let me hear.
100%. At the end of the day, I know if I don't play my way and play the game my way, I could hurt myself more. So I start out chasing that ball in the gap, and then I give up on it. What if I blow out my hamstring doing that instead of diving for the ball, making the catch? You know, it's little things like that, too, you also have to think about. So for me, I'm not changing who I am. This is Byron Buxton. I play the game hard. I play for my team. I play with my teammates, and I like to have fun doing it. So it's all about going out there trying to get that championship here and playing together. That's my biggest goal.
Hey, good job. I like it. All right, how about Correa? You're his buddy. Can you convince him to stay?
I talk to him every week. You know, that's my brother there. We got a bond that I know he got my back, and I know where he want to be. So it's up to us to do what we need to do to go back and get him. There's a big leadership role into, you know, how the team progressed. Even though if we went through slumps, he was there to communicate and get us back on track. So for me, he was a big help, not just for me on the field, but off the field to help me grow as a person. Because you know, he's been through a lot, playoffs, just making it to the World Series, and it was a lot for me to try to pick his brain and learn from him. And it's still a lot for me to learn from him. And who's better than having a guy like that running your shortstop every day and being able to communicate with him day in and day out to get better with. So for me, that's the guy we need.
And you think, I mean, money aside, that's not negotiate for him, but you think he would like to stay in Minnesota if given the opportunity, correct?
1,000%. He played well here, and he'll tell you himself. He played the way that he wanted to play, and the way that he wanted to play was to be here. I don't know many players that want to keep jumping around teams, and like I said, I talk to him every week. I know where his heart is at, and you know, for me, it's all about going out, doing what we got to do to bring him back. That's somebody, like I said, he's a big part of this team and a big part of helping me grow as a player and a person.
All right, Vikings are 8-1. Are you a Viking fan here, Byron? Who's your favorite football team? You must have one. Let me hear. Which one?
So I do. I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, but I cheer for the Vikes.
Oh,
they
really?
don't play the Bucks. I've been a Bucks fan for a while, like 03. They're my boys.
Wow. Well, do you love Brady? Do you love Tom Brady?
So I'm a big Mike Evans fan. When he got drafted from A&M, I was like stoked. So this past year was my first year I finally was able to get season tickets for the Bucks game. So
wow.
For me, like that was like a Cloud9 moment. That was something I wanted to do when I was little. Once being a little kid, to be able to go to Bucks games and take my little boys and family. That's something for me to cherish. They've actually been to a Vikings game and they loved it. My little boy is a Vikings fan. So me and him have quite a bit of arguments.
How about Justin Jefferson? Not a bad catch. You would have admired that out in center field there against Buffalo. How about that for a second? Let me hear. Go ahead.
I still don't know how he made. That's the best catch I saw in my life. I don't care how many catches I made in center field. If I can make something like that in baseball happen, I don't even know how I would react to that. I was jumping off my seat, and like I said, I'm a Bucks fan, but I cheer for the Vikings when they don't play the Bucks. So for me to see that in person was it was awesome. You know, I had my other little boy was asleep, so my wife got onto us, but it was definitely one of the best catches I saw in my life.
100%. He's something to watch. Great to talk to you, Byron. Good luck. Stay healthy. Appreciate you coming on here. Excellent job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.